All right, guys, let's do this. So, on Schoology, what are we doing today? I always want to go over the agenda so there's no issues or questions with like, what am I supposed to do? Because remember, sometimes we do Edgenuity, sometimes we don't. So I just want all of us to be clear. So today's agenda, because today is Tuesday, September 1, happy September, is okay, first, we're going to do the Google Hangout together. Second, make sure you have your attendance submitted. Third, okay, so you're going to print the 1.3 notes or open your notes through Kami. So remember, they're right here. So all of you are going to click that, download the blank copy of the notes. If you want to click it, then you can download it and print it, and then take a picture of it to submit it. Oh, good job, Tyler, and good job, Lauren. You guys are amazing. You guys make me so happy. I love this class. But if you're going to use Kami, then click this, and remember, it'll open through Kami so that you can split your screen and watch and type at the same time. And once it finishes loading, I'll remind you one more time where you can turn it in and submit it. So there should be a button up here that says turn in. So once you're done, go ahead and click that right there, and you're just going to turn it in. So you're just writing whatever the teacher writes. And I believe it's me actually teaching this video. Okay. And then once you're done, you're going to turn it in. So where am I actually getting this video from? Because it's not in Edgenuity today. Let's look back at the agenda. Watch and take notes. So what am I watching? This link right here, this video. So if I click it, here's the video. It is 10 minutes and 28 seconds long, so it's not too bad. Remember, what I don't want you to do is like forward, copy everything down, and then like forward to like the 8-minute mark, and then copy everything down, because you're not learning anything. You might as well just not even do the work, because you're literally not learning anything. Please listen to the 10-minute instruction, okay? Please rewind if you didn't quite understand something or if I was going too fast. Okay, so go ahead and do that. And that's where you're going to get the video from. And then that's it. Take attendance. Okay, so that's what we are doing today. Let me start then. So all of you need your calculators. Sorry. All of you need your calculators. And we're just practicing typing. Honestly, like the math is not hard today. What's going to be difficult is the typing of the problems, because these are new and, different calculators. If you have something to say, please unmute yourself and shout it out, because again, remember, I have to hide your faces because I'm recording right now. So I can't see the screen. I don't know who's talking or who's trying to talk. Okay, so you don't need to write this down. If you just watch and follow along, I think you should be able to get it today. Okay, so today is all about ordering numbers that are written in different ways. So let's say I have the square root of 29 and negative 2.4 and 9.86 and negative square root of 6. These are my four numbers, and the question is going to be order them from, let's say, smallest to largest. Well, I have no idea which one is the smallest and which one is the largest, because they all look different. So the easiest thing to do would be to change all of these numbers to decimals, and I can use my calculator for that. And once I change them to decimals, I can compare the decimal digit to actually help me do that. So I'm going to put my calculator screen right here so that we can do it together. Okay, so all of you turn on your calculators, get to the app. Remember, if you still do not have a calculator, please email me or Schoology message me, because you need a calculator. Okay, so let's change this square root 29 into a decimal. So all of you type that in, please. Remember how you type it in? The square root button is right here in blue, right above the x squared. Well, if it's in blue, you have to hit the blue button for a second. So I go second and then x squared. And now the square root symbol should show up on your screen. And then I just go 29. And then I go enter, 5.385. I don't need to write all of it. In 8th grade math, 2 decimal digits is good enough. So 5.385, so this 5 tells me to bump up the 8 to a 9. So 5.39. So here we go, 5.39. This is what this number actually is. Okay, negative 2.4. Oh, that's already a decimal. So let me just recopy it, negative 2.4. Wait, but this one has 2 numbers after the decimal. This one only has 1, and that kind of confuses us. So if I had to write one more number at the end, can someone unmute and just scream it out? What number can I always put at the end? Thank you for whoever who said that. Yes, I can always put an imaginary zero. And I like always comparing to two digits because now it's like money, $5.39, negative $2.40. Oh, this is also a decimal, easy peasy. So I can just recopy it. And it's to two decimals. So that's good. Okay, negative square root 6. So this one's kind of tricky to type in. So look at my screen. Guys, the negative symbol is right here. It's at the very bottom next to the enter. Please don't hit minus because if you hit minus square root 6, do you see how it actually says like answer minus? Because it's thinking that you want to take your old answer and then subtract it by square root 6. So negative is down here. Negative, so it's a little bit shorter than the minus symbol, and then square root 6. If you guys have trouble finding these buttons, please hang back, okay, after the 20 minutes, and I can show you, where Mr. Tucker can show you where to find the buttons. Because obviously you can't get the answer and you can't do it the shortcut and the easy way if you don't even know where the buttons are. So we can show you that. Okay, negative 2.45, right? Because the 9 tells you to bump up the 4. So negative 2.45. Now I can go ahead and order it from smallest to largest. So smallest to largest, the smallest number. Oh shoot, negatives always mess me up. I never know. Can anyone shout it out? Which one is smaller, negative 2.40 or negative 2.45? Sorry, which one is smaller? Which number out of these two negatives is smaller? Yes, thank you to whoever said that. Negative 2.45 is a smaller one. Remember with negatives, like the bigger the number or the bigger the bigger the digit, the smaller it is because it's farther away from the zero on the number line. So you kind of just have to remind yourself. So negative 2.45 is the smallest. Then negative 2.40 is the next smallest. Okay, now let's think about money. $5.39, $9.86. Obviously, $5 is smaller than the $9. So, yay, I just ordered it all from smallest to largest. You can write your answer like this, or you can write the answer in its original form. Either one is fine. I will take either. But that would be your answer, either or, the top row or the bottom row. Okay? So that's how we order. So let's do two more like that before we do something slightly different. Okay? I really just want you guys to get in the habit of practicing how to type these in your calculator. Okay. So let's say I have my email. How lovely. Okay. 1 7/9. I have 10.1. I have the square root of 101, and then I have 1.7. Again, smallest to largest. Okay, so I have to change them all to decimals. That would be my easiest thing to do. Does anyone remember? This is like 2 weeks ago now, or maybe the very beginning of last week. Does anyone remember, how do I change a fraction to a decimal in my calculator? What did I have to do? Divide. Whoever said that, you are amazing. Yes, you just divide. That's all you do. So 1 7/9 is 1 point something, right? Because it's one is the whole number. So it's 1 point something. So all you have to do is divide 7 divided by 9. Then 7 goes on top, so it's written first. The 9 goes on the bottom because it's written second. So it's 0.7 repeated. Okay. So remember how I said, let's just round to two digits. So that's 0.78. So it's actually 1.78. Okay. This is 10.1. And someone already told us we can always add zeros at the end of decimals as placeholders. Okay. Square root 101. So let's type that in. So practice typing in square root 101. You need to remember where those buttons are. So second, and then the x squared on the left column. So I get 1.049. So really it's just 1.05. Sorry, not 1, 10. 10.05. And then 1.7 is just 1.70. Okay, does anyone think that they can unmute themselves and tell us in order, the whole thing, the whole shebang, from smallest to largest? Okay, whoever said that, just go. You are amazing, right? Just think of it as money, okay? $1.70, $1.78, $10.05, $10.10. Yay! Good job. And then you also can write it in its natural original form if you want to. Either one is fine. You don't have to write both, just one is fine. So either answer. Okay. Let's do one more. And the typing for this one is going to be super complicated. So this one is tricky. Okay, not the math, okay, but just the typing, like trying to figure out how to type everything in. Okay, so I have square root 6 plus 3. That's the first number. I have square root 10 minus 2. And then I have 4 plus pi over 3. So you only have 3 numbers to combine, or not to combine, but to figure out this time. But the typing is trickiest. So let's change them all to decimals. First one, square root 6 plus 3. We kind of talked a little bit about this, I don't know, last week I think it was, but you have to make sure that you type it in exactly as you see it. So can you all look at my calculator screen right now? If you type it in like this would give you the wrong answer. So if you think the answer is 3, no, I'm sorry, it is not. Because do you see how this 3 in the original problem is outside of the square root? And this 3 that I typed in, I forgot to put it outside of the square root. So really it's square root 6. To get outside of the square root, hit your right arrow. So right here, because you have a bunch of arrows, hit the right arrow to get out of the square root symbol and then hit plus 3. So do you see the difference? The 3 is in the house. No bueno. The 3 is outside of the house. That's good. So your actual answer is 5.45. Okay, so this is actually 5.45. It's not 3 because you have to type it in exactly as you see it. So try this one. Square root 10 minus 2. The minus 2 has to be on the outside. So square root 10, arrow over to get out of the little square root house, and then minus 2. You should have gotten 1.16. Okay, this one is the most complicated. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to type 4 and then plus. Okay, pi over 3. That looks like a fraction. Does anyone know or remember how do we type in a fraction in our calculator? What were those buttons we had to press? I'll give you a clue. It starts with alpha. Alpha and then what? Yay! Yes, thank you to whoever said that. Alpha and then y equals. So you hit alpha, the green button, and then y equals, which is right here, the very top left button, y equals. Oh, my alarm. Sorry. And then you just hit enter because it says fraction. So yes, you want fraction, so hit enter. So now you have 2 little boxes and you can type it in. So pi, you can hit 3.14 if you want to, but since it does say pi, let me show you where the pi button is. Do you see how it's in blue right underneath the clear? Okay, so if it's blue, you have to hit the second, the blue button, and then hit the little button to hit pi. So you could type in 3.14 if you really wanted to, but you also could, there is a pi button here. And then arrow down, so use your arrow to get the cursor to the bottom box, and then you type in 3, and then hit enter. So it looks like it's 5.05. Okay, now we can order them from smallest to largest. So hopefully this is not too difficult. $1.16, then $5.05, then $5.45. And that would be your order. Okay. I have 2 trick questions for you. I think you can do it, but I think it takes a little bit more brain power. If you can get these 2 trick questions right, I would be very, very, very impressed. Okay. So let me give you the easier of the trick questions first. Okay. So I have 7.9, just the number 7.9, and I have the number 7.9 repeated. Does anyone know which number is the bigger one? Is it 7.9 or 7.9 repeated? And you also have to say why. Why is that one the bigger number? Yes. So repeated because it does go on forever. So for example, remember how we're like comparing, to 2 decimal places? 7.9 is the same thing as saying 7.90. Well, 7.9 repeated is like 7.99, right? Well, it keeps on going, but who cares about the other numbers? Isn't $7.90 smaller than $7.99? That's why this number is bigger. Think of the alligator. It always wants to eat the bigger number. Nom, 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 nom. So then you're good. Whoever said that, good job. So so just to compare, this is not an actual question, but I just want to clarify. If I have like let's say 7.1 repeated versus 7.2, 7.2 is bigger. Even though 7.1 goes on forever, just because it goes on forever doesn't mean it's bigger. Because it's 7.1111 and this is 0.2000, right? 2000 is bigger than 1111. That's why this one is bigger. So compare the actual digits. Don't compare how long your number is. Okay, last one, and then we're done for the day. Let's say I have 3 and 1/6 versus the square root of 3 plus pi. Okay, well, I don't really know what they are because I don't know them as decimals. So let's figure that out. So 3 and 1/6. 1/6, 1 divided by 6 in my calculator is 0.16 repeated. So really I have like 3 point, right, because it's 3 wholes, 1/6 repeated. So like 166, let's just say that. Okay, the square root of 3 plus 5. So square root of 3, arrow out, plus, and then the pi symbol gives me 4.87. So do you see how, or 4.873. So like all you really have to do is just put it in your calculator and then compare the numbers and then you're okay. Okay.